Hey, what is going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and this is my review, my overview, my video that I've been delaying for the past 5 months of Sword Art Online. So, if it's Sword Art Online, why aren't I showing footage of the anime? Why am I showing footage of Halo 3 ODST's firefight? Well, copyright issues is the main thing, and also I feel like if I just get on camera and talk, it'd be really boring and nobody would really care as much. So, there, you just have this, but mostly it's just going to be me talking about the anime, my thoughts, my review on it, whatever you want to call it. And people have been waiting for this, and I'm sorry, I've just been putting this off because it's like whenever I wanted to do this video, something came up and I would do another video. But I felt like this was a really good time to drop this video because this coming Saturday, it is going to be the English dub is going to be airing on Toonami this Saturday, and I'm beyond excited for that. It's going to give me a really good excuse to rewatch the whole series. But anyways, getting into this. So, my background on anime, let's go ahead and cover that. I'm definitely not nearly as experienced as other people, but I started getting back into anime after years and years of not watching it, probably about a year or two ago. But I really only watch like one series like every few months, and that's all I do. Like, I just can't watch that much of it. I have to take it in like doses, I guess you can say. But the way I was explained, like the way I was introduced to this anime was back around, I want to say September or October. It was around the time Resident Evil 6 came out. One of my good friends was telling me about it, and she was saying, oh, well, you should watch this anime Sword Art Online, but she would not tell me anything about it. And that was one thing that kind of deterred me from watching it for so long. It was an ongoing anime. Normally when it comes to TV shows, I like to watch them a season at a time. I don't like to watch them, one episode a week. I'm just like that. I like choosing my own pace. I like choosing, where I'm going to watch it, when I'm going to watch it, how I'm going to watch it, all that stuff, which is why I really like Netflix. But it was an ongoing series. Out of all the people I talked to, it was that one anime where everyone knew about it, but nobody could explain it to me. Nobody could tell me anything about it. And I'm like, well, if you guys aren't going to tell me about it, I'm just not going to watch it. And third, it was a newer anime. It came out in 2012, and I don't know. Older anime is normally just better. Like, anything from, like, the mid-2000s, even, like, the 90s, it's normally better. Like, I really don't see, like, my friends who are really geared into anime, they rarely, if ever, recommend or even watch newer shows. So, I really wasn't too sure about this. And I was like, you know what, there's no way it's as good as people are saying. But near the end, like when the show was about to finish, people were just freaking out. They did not want to wait a week at a time for these episodes. So that's how I heard about it after months and months of it. And finally, what got me to watch it was when my buddy Sean recommended it to me. He is one of my go-to people when it comes to anime, just because he's watched so much. And if I'm just like, hey Sean, you know my tastes, what would you recommend for me? He can give me a few shows. So we're driving around one day, he's like, hey Danny, you liked Dot Hack Sign, right? And I said, yeah, and that's one of my favorite animes. He's like, you know what, you'd really like Sword Art Online. And that's when I dropped the ball. I'm just like, okay, what is this anime? What is this about? Nobody can explain it to me. Pretty much Sword Art Online. This is what it's about. It is about a game that comes out in Japan called Sword Art Online. You have to get this thing called a Nerve Gear, which you hook up to your computer, so you have to have a really good gaming PC for this. Then you put the Nerve Gear over your head, you lay down or you sit down, whatever you want to do, and while you are in the game, it pretty much paralyzes your body. So you can't move in the real world, but you're completely immersed within this game. And that's why he said that it would appeal to me, because Dot Hack Sign was a lot like that. Except Dot Hack Sign, there was only one character, Tsukasa, in there, who couldn't escape the game. These are not big spoilers, because this is the first episode, but what happens within there is the first day, the game had been in beta for a while, and it was huge. The game sold out within, like, less than a minute when it was up for pre-order, and the first day, the servers got bombed. Everyone was on there going crazy, but there was one thing. The logout feature, for some reason, was grayed out. Nobody could log out. So they said, oh, you know what? It's the first day this is out. Let's just go ahead and wait a little bit and see if the admins have to say anything. But this is also scary at the same time, because you're in your Nerve Gear, you really can't Alt F4 out of the game or anything. So pretty much this is what happens. The main creator of the game gathers everyone into the world and says, hey, so thank you for buying Sword Art Online, thank you for being here, but you might have noticed there's a weird glitch where you cannot log out of your game. Well, that is not a glitch, that is intentional. Here's the deal, I wanted to make my own virtual world to see how humans would react. This is level 1, no, this is floor 1. There are 100 floors in this game. In order to get out of this game successfully, you must complete all 100 floors in order to get out. If you get disconnected from the internet, you will die. If somebody tries to remove your nerve gear, you will die. Oh, and if you die in the game, you die in real life. Good luck, everyone. So that's pretty much what happens. That is the whole premise of it. I can say there are 2 story arcs, and the second story arc is not as good. I didn't feel like it was as needed, and it just wasn't as entertaining, but the first one, my god, it was so good. Like, you have to see what's going on episode after episode. And the funny thing is, I probably know about 10 people who've watched this anime in its entirety, and it's the only one I know of like this, but every single person marathoned it. Every single person marathoned it. Like, everyone I talked to, they're just like, oh yeah, well, I got a hold of Sword Art Online and I watched like 1 episode, and then I kind of watched the other 20-something episodes in one night. And that's kind of what happened to me too. I watched the first few episodes, like 1 or 2 episodes a day, and then in February I got really sick. And there was one day where I was just sitting on my couch, coughing, trying to recover, and I burned through all of Sword Art. And actually, it was kind of funny because a friend of mine over in Scotland was watching it as well. So we were kind of, like, we were watching it at the same time, and he ended up going to sleep at one point, so I was able to surpass him, but I was able to complete it beforehand. So we were kind of having like a little unsaid mini competition going on with who could watch it first. But no, like, this is just one of those shows where you don't really, I felt like even though you watch it all in one go, you can still take it in easily. And just the story arcs, the characters, everyone becomes lovable. And it seems like something that isn't too outlandish, because it all seems a bit realistic. And even like people such as myself who work with computers on a daily basis, it was a joy for us as well, just because it's like we're looking into it. And I discussed it with my friends. I'm just like, well, you know, how do you think lag was in that game? Well, how do you think this was brought up? Well, what about this? So friends and I were just like talking about it back and forth. Anyways, this is how popular the anime has been. Like, I haven't heard any bad things about it. The only people I've seen, at least, there's been a few online. I really didn't see anything until I really delved online, but some people have complained about it. But I don't know, I guess the whole anime purists who are just hardcore into it and really defending everything, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not making fun of you, but you know, I think it's a good series. I personally think it is. And there are a few people bashing it, but it's like a minority. Maybe like 5% of the viewers are bashing it. I don't know, because I really haven't seen too much bashing, and everyone I've talked to personally absolutely loves it. It's one of the best things out there, and I'd really recommend it to anyone if you're into that sort of thing. This anime was so popular, like worldwide, because it's in Japanese. It's subtitled in English, but it's available in other subtitles. They put it up on streaming sites such as Crunchyroll, and there were people watching it worldwide. But it was so popular that, you know, within a year, because it came out in 2012, as I said, in 2013 now, you know, about a year later, they're releasing an English dub for it just because it was so popular in America. And English is a widely understood language as opposed to Japanese. Like, more people are going to understand English worldwide, and, you know, more money to them. Also, I'm really happy Toonami is picking this up. I'm so happy for that. So I'm gonna have to probably bum cable off someone since I don't have it here. I just don't watch cable as a thing, so I didn't see a need to pay for it. And even with this, it's like, I love Sword Art, don't get me wrong, but if I'm only going to be watching, you know, 1 episode a week, I don't feel like paying a month's worth of cable. Anyways, my review of this anime, I absolutely loved it. I would watch this over, and the reason why I haven't rewatched it is just because, you know, I knew the dub was right around the corner. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and wait for that. And for people thinking that the dub might be terrible, I heard the leaked episode 2 dub before it got taken down on YouTube, and I can say I was actually pretty impressed. Definitely not the best one out there, but I was like, you know what? They really did the characters justice on there. I feel like they were great compared to their Japanese counterparts. So, that's really all I have to say about this. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'm going to go ahead and render this and try and get some sleep, because I'm trying to fight borderline insomnia right now, and so far, borderline insomnia has been winning, so yeah. Good night, everyone.